Page 9. Jogging along in an old stagecoach. Okay. And you see dotted rhythms all over the place. That's what we're doing, this dotted 8th note, 16th note patterns. Well, let's look it over. It's a couple pages long. Treble and bass clef to start at least. No sharps or flats in the key signature. When the key is C major, make sure you can do the C major scale and go ahead and do the C major arpeggio. Okay. 4/4 time signature. Let's check our notes and rhythms and all. Right hand, you're starting here in the third measure here. And you have an E there, so you're really in this position. So it's 1 E and 2 E and. Then rest, and during the rest come up into this position here. Then one fourth finger here. Third line, you come way up here. Third finger, like you were at the beginning. Now come down here. Now fifth finger, you're staying in that position. And in the fourth line down, that note, you should know that note, it is a G down here. 2 ledger lines. 1 ledger line is middle C, 2 is an A, and so that's right below, it's a G. Okay. And then the last line's the same as what you've had before. Now, on page 10, let's take a look at this. Second line, you're starting up here, and they have that little dice line over there to tell you, that's just to help you out. The LH means left hand, so you're going to play those notes with the left hand. Now, a lot of publishers, when they do this, when you're playing notes in the same staff with different hands, they will also indicate it by the stems. So they'll have the stems go up for the right hand, and the stems go down for the left. This could do that. They could have the stems in the first 2 beats go up to indicate the right hand, but they don't have to. It's up to the publisher, and here they didn't do that. So they're not using stems, so you can't always rely on stems. A lot of times you can, but here they put in left hand though, and that little curved line there, that's to tell you these notes are for the left hand. So then in the second measure, you get right hand in the bottom staff. You're down here. And then left hand. And then at the end, the third measure there of the second line, well, figure out the notes. You got 1 ledger line, 2 ledger lines, and 3 ledger lines. So you have an F and a G together. You really should memorize those notes, though. You should know those. And which fingers you use is up to you. I don't care which fingers you use. Just use fingers. And then in the next line it's an E and a C. If you don't know what that note is, you can't remember it, then take a pencil and write in the name of the note next to it. It's an E. And then the rest, you come back up here. Lift up. 4, 3. That's a bit of a stretch. You can go ahead and use 2 there. This is the 4th line down. 5, 5. You can use 2, and then you can use 2 again. Bring the thumb down. That's okay, but do connect them. 4 here, and then 2 here. During the rest, come back down. Now, I don't care for this fingering like in the 3rd line last measure on page 10. Up here. No. We're doing the scales. Let's use the scale fingering here. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, and then a thumb. Like you do in a scale. It may be different notes, but it's still the same fingering. It's the same feeling. So there, that way I'm here. Then I can reach up and I do a 4. I can connect them. Here's what I recommend. Same thing in the last line on page 10. 1, 2, 3, 1. And then they want a thumb. No, I have 2 A's. I'm going to do a 4, 1. I'll change on the A's. Here. And again, 3, you can use 3 if you want, because it's only 1 note then. 3 there and connect them. And you can use 5 or 4 for the last, it's up to you. But connect them. Connect those. Yeah. Left hand, well, down here. Now, you can use 4 there if you want. Rest. Come up here. 1, 2, 2. The second line, they don't need the natural sign. It's a natural anyway. But they're being clear because they just had an E flat. So they're telling, make sure it's an E natural and then come down. It's an F sharp and a G. Yes, it sounds wonderful. Just deal with it. And now we get treble clef. Second line, second measure, you come up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they say 5. This is, you're not moving around. Now you're moving around. Now you treble clef again. Third line, now you're up here. Which fingers you use up here, it's up to you. If I use 2 and 1 or 3 and 1, if I use some other finger, I got to come further up. I don't want to do that. So it's either 2 and 1 or 3 and 1. Pick one. And then down here, and then I'm not sure what's going on with that. All kinds of things come into my mind, and none of them are very nice. So let's just deal with that. Now, page 10, second line, let's deal with this. In the first measure, the left hand's doing those new. And then you're coming down here. The right hand plays those, and the left hand's down here. Third line, and then you have an 8/8 under it. You go down here. If you have it. If you don't, just play the lowest C you have. It's close enough. And then we go on. We're here. Chord 2. The thumb comes up. 2, 1, 2, 3. Second. And do it again. Put the hands together. This should be interesting. Well, the first 2 measures is left hand only, so let's go to the third measure. You're here. Now, again, I'm connecting everything as best I can now. Now, when I play that, the right hand's resting, so don't hold that down. Rest. Up here, get the idea. On page 10, in the second line, it's both hands. Make sure you can connect all this. Seems appropriate, I guess. And then going on, this is page 10, third line, second measure here. Connecting all this with the fingers. That's great. Get the idea. So you can put the hands together and then go back over the tricky spots and carefully get rid of the hesitation so it's a steady beat. You can keep it as slow as you need to. It doesn't matter, but a steady beat. Then I try the articulation. Well, these are staccatos. They're going to be short, and you're usually going to hinge at the wrist on these. That's pretty much all staccato. You have a few accents occasionally. Look at the third line last measure on page 9. Accent. Give it a little extra. As if that needed an accent. Good grief. Now on page 10, on the third line, you're starting here with an accent, staccato. Then going on, this is smooth. This is all connected. This is a nice contrast to this bouncy we've had. So that's a nice contrast. And we like contrast in music. Just keep telling yourself that. Then the dynamics. Well, moderately soft at the beginning is mezzo piano. Whatever you think sort of soft is. Third measure, it goes up to moderately loud. That's the melody, which is the right hand. This left hand stays in the background. You can bring out, if you want, because it's not melody. We don't want the listener to think it's melody. It needs to sound like background, but it's by itself. I guess I would keep it down slow too. Now, third line, last measure, very loud. Fortissimo. That makes that accented note super loud. Again, fourth line down, that, keep it the same. Okay, and now you go down like you were at the beginning. Top of page 10, second measure, you're loud in the right hand. You're sort of echoing that. You come down a bit. Now very loud again. Then you come down to moderately soft. That's the right hand here. The left hand's very soft. Loud. Soft. So you got these louds and softs going. It's kind of nice, I guess. Now we think about the speed. Well, this is moderato. You have to be careful with these dotted rhythms. You can't go too fast or the dotted rhythms aren't dotted anymore. They have to be triplets. So keep it down where you just, it's a feel. 1, 2, somewhere in there, I think. Somewhere in there is fine. Now, they've added pedal on page 10. Again, if you're going to use pedal, why are you using it? I think you can play this whole piece just fine without pedal. It's okay. But we're adding pedal to get the overtones on this smooth part. Well, that causes a problem because then it blurs them up. Starting on page 10, third line down, after the fine, it's here. Notes first, then the pedal. I get that. Ooh. Well, if that's fine, if that's the sound you want, then you legato pedal, or the pedal changes after you play the notes. If that's okay with you, if that's the sounds you're after, go with it. I don't like a blurry sound unless that's really the intent of the piece. And I just don't care for that at all. I really don't. So to fix it, sort of, I'm going to end up changing pedal on every beat. Here, change, 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 change. Here, and then lift up. Not quite so blurry. On the fourth line down, when I play that, pedal comes up so I hear a staccato. And again, every beat. Lift up when you play the staccato, and that's what I'm suggesting you do with the pedal. And we have to deal with this page turn because you got to do it twice. You're doing it going forward and you're coming back and you're going forward again. That's 3 times in it. Ooh. Don't mess up the beat. Whatever you do, don't mess up the beat. So what we do, well, memorize. That way you don't have to turn the page. Otherwise, maybe you get somebody to turn the page for you. You got to do it yourself. They only got to figure out how to get it turned without messing up the beat. Well, if there's rest somewhere in one of the hands, you can do it during the rest. While one hand is resting, it can turn the page right quick. For instance, at the bottom of page 9, in the next to the last measure here, the right hand ain't doing anything. If you can, while you're doing this, if you can turn the page right quick with the right hand, you only have to memorize the last measure. And you can turn the page there. Page 10, at the top of the page, when you're here, again, the right hand is resting. You can turn the page then. You have to memorize the first measure in page 10 then, because you're playing it and you're turning the page right quick there. If that doesn't work and you need more time, you can't do it that quickly for whatever reason, then perhaps you memorize the last line on page 9, the whole thing. If you could memorize those 3 measures, then you can turn the page and the third line when the left hand's, you have 2 measures to turn the page here. You have plenty of time. You just have to memorize the last line. Now, when you get to the bottom of page 10, you have a DC al fine. DC, remember, means go back to the beginning. Well, now you got to turn the page again. Don't mess up the beat. Well, you have the pedal helping you out. So once you play this chord in the last measure here with the pedal, rather than holding it down, lift the right hand up and turn the page right quick. Here, and you just play the last note with the left hand, and the page is turned, and you're ready to go back to the beginning and do that again. And you do that. It's my suggestion if you can. If you can't, then remember the two measures at the beginning. Is that the right hand's not doing anything? Well, you can, while you're playing that, you can turn the page back if you want. So you can hold this down, and then as you're doing, turn the page back there as the left hand's doing what it's doing. There's different ways of doing this, and we do practice page turns if we have to, because this beat has to be a steady beat throughout. Don't mess up the beat because you're turning pages. I've heard people performing who do that. Now, one thing about the pedal here is if you're going to use the pedal anywhere in the piece, put your foot on the pedal at the beginning of the piece and leave it there for the whole piece. Don't be putting your foot on the pedal and taking it off and putting it, no. Again, remember the natural accents? 1, 2, 3. We want to feel these. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Feel these natural accents all the way through. It's really important. And if you find you're starting to rock, then you're turning it into triplets. So keep them crisp. If you have to, keep them short. You know, I tend to want to turn them into triplets too. I have to watch out on that. Just keep them short. Keep them crisp.